The Italian empire builders were responsible for revolutionizing Europe, and in 55 BC, when Julius Caesar was busy conquering, the Romans set their sights on England. Although Julius Caesar failed to do as he'd promised, some years later the Emperor Claudius successfully brought legions of Roman soldiers ashore, and they quickly made their way north until they reached the River Thames. When they arrived, the Romans immediately saw the area's potential as a port, and immediately set about occupying the district. But the Romans didn't quite have it all their own way, especially when Boudicca, a mighty Celtic warrior queen, led the ancient Britons into battle in the latter part of the 1st century AD. From the Norfolk homeland of the Iceni, Boudicca attacked the much larger Roman city of Colchester, and as the invaders' fine architecture burned, Boudicca marched towards London, slaying all who stood in her way. The Roman governor of London knew that his forces were no match for the marauding onslaught, and abandoned the settlement, leaving Boudicca to burn another Roman city to the ground. There are then two schools of thought about what happened next. The first being that she advanced northwest along the Roman-built Watling Street, where she was eventually defeated in Warwickshire. The second option suggests that Boudicca fought her last battle in London, to be more precise, at a location now known as Battle Bridge Road. Further to this explanation, the theory goes that the ancient warrior queen is buried beneath platforms 10 and 11 at King's Cross Station. It's interesting to note, though, if this was the case, that her mortal remains lie at least 16 feet below the platforms, as back in 61 AD, the date of her last battle, that is where street level would have been. Although Boudicca failed to evict the Romans from Britain, eventually their empire began to crumble, and by 410 AD they were returning to Rome, and the Saxons, who'd been waiting for an opportunity to invade, made the most of the Roman exodus.